The results of the Mueller investigation are revealed. Spring weather is here and school was out, but sports were busy over the break. This is OU Nightly. Good evening and thanks for joining us for OU Nightly. I'm James Myers.
And I'm McKenzie Gladney. We begin tonight with the latest reactions to the Mueller report. Over the weekend, Attorney General William Barr submitted his summary of the report. We know in his letter he said Mueller did not find evidence of collusion from President Trump with the Russians during the 2016 election.
So what happens now and what does the president have to say about the findings? CNN's Kristen Holmes has the details.
President Trump speaking out about the Robert Mueller report.
They lied to Congress. Many of them, you know who they are. They've done so many evil things. I will tell you, I love this country. I love this country as much as I can love anything. My family, my country, my God. But what they did, it was a false narrative. It was a terrible thing. We can never let this happen to another president again.
And after nearly 2 years attacking the special counsel investigation, changing his tune. Now, Republicans say the report lifts the cloud of conspiracy hanging over the Trump administration.
The American system has prevailed.
While Democrats push for more answers.
We need to see the full report to really understand the evidence that was collected.
Attorney General Bill Barr sent a letter to Congress summarizing the findings, writing, the special counsel's investigation did not find that the Trump campaign or anyone associated with it conspired or coordinated with Russia in its efforts to influence the 2016 U.S. presidential election. But the letter does not fully exonerate President Trump from obstructing justice. Democrats pouncing.
It's very important that Mueller did not exonerate the president on obstruction of justice. In fact, after 2 years of investigation, Mueller said he couldn't make a determination, and it's highly concerning.
In Washington, I'm Kristen Holmes reporting.
Oklahoma's congressional delegation had a strong reaction to the Mueller report. Storme Jones continues team coverage now with that. Storme?
Attorney General William Barr released a summary of key findings to Congress on Sunday in this 4-page report. Now, within hours of receiving the report, Oklahoma's congressional delegation began weighing in. Congressman Kevin Hern was the first to issue a public statement calling the investigation pointless, asking colleagues to, quote, apologize for the hateful and baseless accusations they've made against the president. The state's senior Republican senator says the report was clear there was no evidence of collusion or obstruction of justice. During a time in the investigation when many indictments were coming out, Representative Tom Cole told the New York Times, where there's smoke, there may well be fire. Following Sunday's preliminary report, Cole took a different tone, saying Democratic suspicions were proven false and called the investigation incredibly thorough. And James, all 5 of Oklahoma's congressional members voted in favor of releasing the full Mueller report to the American people whenever that vote came up in Congress. Now, I reached out to U.S. Senator James Lankford and Jim Inhofe asking whether they believe the full report should be released to the public and have not yet heard back. Reporting live, I'm Storme Jones.
Thanks, Storme. And the OU College Republicans will shut down for the remainder of the semester. This comes after racist jokes and comments surfaced on the organization's official group chat. Comments also appeared to justify recent racial incidents on campus and made aggressive comments about former College of International Studies Dean Suzette Grelot. The decision to disband was made by the president of OU College Republicans.
James, the weather outside today is beautiful.
I know, it really is. And student meteorologist Taylor Cox joins us now. Taylor, how long will we see this great weather?
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Today the weather was beautiful, but if you were a little sniffly like I was, it might be because of the allergies. The allergy index is high today, tree was high today, and so was mold, so definitely a little sniffly. Eyes were a little itchy as well, that's why, and you can continue to see that for tomorrow as well. Now the lows tonight are in the 40s, 47 in Norman with those northeasterly winds, light winds. We will see a warm up later this week. Those stronger winds will be returning and weakened storms as well. I'll let you know when and where we'll see those storms. James.
Tense moments over the weekend when a hailstorm hit parts of Oklahoma. This was the scene from the northern Oklahoma City and Edmond areas where parked cars under overpasses stopped traffic. Highway Patrol and emergency managers stress this puts drivers in a dangerous situation as parking under overpasses can cause accidents and block emergency vehicles from reaching people who need help. Drivers are also advised to find a parking lot or a sturdy shelter off the road to park in. But more importantly, plan ahead if there is severe weather and don't drive into a storm.
And while hail has fallen over Oklahoma, Nebraska and Iowa are still heavily flooded from last week's storms. Marisa Nuzzo is here at the News Center with the economic impact of these floods.
Thanks, James. Nebraska and Iowa are facing billions of dollars in losses from the recent devastating floods. The areas were overwhelmed with snow and rain last week, and the water still covers much of the land where these people usually make a living. Many were unable to save their livestock from the rushing waters, and the financial hardships compound with the severe damage to infrastructure. Iowa officials are forecasting losses over $1 billion, while Nebraska officials say preliminary losses will likely exceed $1.3 billion. Even with federal aid, many are unsure how they're going to recover. Boeing has been under fire following 2 fatal crashes within 5 months. The causes of both of these crashes have not been officially determined, but the focus has been on an automatic safety feature that may have incorrectly forced the nose of each plane to dip. Over the weekend, pilots and training officials from multiple airlines met with the Boeing officials to test the changes in an attempt to find a solution. In the meantime, many commercial planes will still continue to be grounded, forcing airlines to cancel hundreds of flights. A California mosque went up in flames yesterday as a possible hate crime. This happened 2 weeks after a massacre in a mosque in New Zealand. Caretakers reported the fire and battled it with fire extinguishers while waiting for authorities to arrive. After authorities investigated the scene, they saw words spray painted on the walls that led them to believe that this was a hate crime and the fire was intentionally set. And James and McKenzie, the movie Us is set an opening record this weekend for an original horror movie.
Thank you, Marisa. And on campus this week, students have the chance to save a life, get free food, and a t-shirt.
Plus, Apple has some big announcements and changes coming to its customers. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, everyone. Students have the opportunity to get a free shirt and food as long as you donate blood. OU is hosting its spring blood drive this week until Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the ROTC Armory by the stadium. Walk-ins are welcome, and donors will receive free vouchers for chips and salsa, along with a honey butter chicken biscuit from Whataburger.
Apple made some big announcements today as they are trying something new to generate revenue. Meridith Mulkey is here to give us all the details about the new services. Meridith?
Apple made some big announcements today, introducing 3 new subscription services and an Apple-branded credit card today in California. Apple TV Plus, Apple News Plus, and Apple Arcade are the new subscription bundles that will be offered in the fall. Apple TV Plus will feature original content with celebrities like Oprah, Steven Spielberg, Jennifer Aniston, and more. An Apple News subscription will include over 300 magazines and cost $9.99 in the U.S. And Apple Arcade will feature more than 100 games exclusive to Apple users. The last announcement was the introduction of the titanium-made Apple credit card, which connects to the Wallet app. Apple hopes these new products will help offset losses from stalling iPhone sales. And March Madness tournament has reached the Sweet 16 this year. The American Gaming Association estimates that $8.5 billion will be wagered by the tournament's end. Out of all the bets placed on nearly 25 million brackets that were filled out, only 3% of the wagering will be done legally through bookies or gambling services.
There are some bookies that would want to charge a fee for using them or going through them. I feel like it's a lot simpler, a lot more within the circle if you just do it with a bunch of friends or a bunch of people that you know.
Oklahoma is not one of the 8 states that has legalized sports betting, but a bill has been introduced to allow governor to expand tribal state compact and include sports pools.
Thank you, Meridith.
And the Oklahoma Zoo is ecstatic after a great spring break. We'll tell you more about that in a moment.
And Taylor has a look at today's weather.
Yeah, I'll let you know when it's warming up and when we could see some potential severe storms. Welcome back to OU Nightly. Here's a look outside right now at the Kessler Cam. You can see a few clouds in the sky right now. Has been a little cloudy today. You can see the cloud cover as of right now. A little bit over Norman, but we will be clearing off by tomorrow afternoon. We'll have a sunny day tomorrow, but the clouds will be returning for Wednesday. You can see them coming back into our area on Wednesday. Our lows tomorrow, or our highs tomorrow will be in the 60s for the state, 66 in Norman. As I mentioned, it will be sunny in Norman tomorrow with those northerly winds keeping us a little chilly tomorrow, and we're not reaching 70 like we will see later in the week. 48 will be our low on Wednesday, but warming up, as I mentioned, into 70s by Thursday. Look at this, 74 in Norman on Thursday. But check out this cold front coming in right after we hit those highs of 70s on Thursday, and it will drop our temperatures and bring along some storms with it. So here's the storms on Thursday. They'll come into our area. It'll rain most of the day on Thursday throughout the in Norman, and those storms could intensify and be severe on Friday. So here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Again, sunny skies tomorrow. Those winds will be returning on Wednesday along with those clouds. So we will see some more stronger winds on Thursday, warming up on Friday and Saturday, and then cooling down as that cold front comes in on Saturday. Again, those storms could be severe on Friday night, but we will see some clouds throughout the weekend and some colder temperatures. We really haven't seen these cold temperatures in quite a while, guys.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I'm glad that it's going to be warming up, though. I'm glad it's getting out of that colder weather, at least for a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. We see that warm come through, so we will get some warm weather, some nice weather before we get the cold weather this weekend.
I'm ready for that. I want it to look like spring outside, you know?
Yeah, there you go. And then we get our last little bit of winter and moving on into spring.
Yes.
Then we'll have picnics. Then it'll be spring weather for real.
I'm excited.
Thank you so much, Taylor. And a combination of warm weather and excitement about the Oklahoma City Zoo's newest addition resulted in a record-setting attendance for spring break this year. For the 9-day period of Saturday, March 16th to yesterday, March 24th, a total of 93,491 guests were at the zoo, up by nearly 8,000 guests compared to last year. If the good weather sticks around, regular zoo admission is going to stay at $11. And although students were off for the spring break, the athletes at OU were hard at work.
Austin Hernandez joins us in sports for The Scoop. Austin?
That's right. A Big 12 title has come back to Norman, and in the round of 32, the men gave a one-seeded Virginia everything they had. Don't go anywhere just yet. Sports is straight ahead. Hello and welcome back to OU Nightly Sports. I'm Austin Hernandez. Oklahoma men's basketball put on a clinic against Ole Miss in the first round of the NCAA tournament. However, they faced a different outcome in the second round. Tevis Hillis joins us on how the Sooners wrapped up their season.
Spring break came to a crashing end for the Sooners as they took an L against the Virginia Cavaliers. Now the Sooners battled hard, but they just couldn't get into the rhythm. The Cavaliers' defense was just too much for the Sooners to handle.
This group, fought and did a good job. I think you're always looking to, I think Virginia's a club, if you're using them as a standard, that You know, they can score in a lot of different ways. A lot of different individuals can make plays. They're so sound defensively.
To be a starting point, you know, taking from this game. We know what it takes to get here. So, you know, be up to, you know, me and Brady to kind of lead the pack, you know, this next year.
We got very few of us coming back, so we're going to have some young guys, some JUCO guys, and guys like Austin Reeves and Kerr that are coming. And I think next year we'll just have to start over, like Deuce said, and just work from the beginning.
And while the Sooners are ending their season looking towards the future, Duke is still alive this week as they barely advanced in the tournament. UCF gave the top-ranked Blue Devils a run for their money. The freshman star Zion Williamson went up against the tallest college player, Taco Fall, and if Fall would have not fouled out near the end of the game, you can only imagine the upset possibilities. That leaves the Oregon Ducks as the only team resembling a Cinderella. They advanced by knocking off the 13th seed UC Irvine and are the only double-digit seed left. And the tournament continues with the Sweet 16 starting Thursday night in 4 different cities. And I'm still waiting for the madness to begin. Tevis, Hillis, OU Nightly.
Oklahoma men's gymnastics managed to stay undefeated over the weekend. The Sooners took on 11th-ranked Cal and 18th-ranked UI Chicago to close out the regular season. This marked the program's 5th straight undefeated season and 113th consecutive victory. Oklahoma also posted a season-high road score of 423.4. The Sooners have a week off before heading into the conference championship. As for the women, they claimed their 8th consecutive Big 12 title with a score of 197.575. The Sooners shined in the Big 12 championship as Maggie Nichols won the title for Beam and freshman Olivia Trotman took home floor. Big 12 yearly awards were announced following the meet, and senior Brenna Dow won Big 12 Gymnast of the Year, while freshman Olivia Trotman was named Newcomer of the Year. Switching over to the Diamond, Oklahoma baseball is off to a 3-0 start in conference play after a sweep over Kansas. The Sooners topped the Jayhawks 10-5 on Sunday, which gave them their 3rd series sweep of the season. Oklahoma is 22 in the national rankings and are currently in a 3-way tie for first in the Big 12. Sooners softball also had a sweep of their own on Sunday. Oklahoma picked up a 13-1 win over Texas Tech to seal the series. The Sooners extend their conference streak to 28 consecutive wins. OU is back at home on Wednesday to take on Tulsa. And a legend is hanging up his cleats. Rob Gronkowski announced his retirement at age 29. Not only was he one of the most dominant athletes in the sport has ever seen, but also one of its most charismatic. Known for his Gronk spike and crazy dance move, the beloved tight end will be missed by fans all across the nation. And I think we can all agree the NFL will not be the same without Rob Gronkowski, and it's going to be tough for the Patriots to fill his shoes.
Oh yeah, it's going to be tough for the NFL and for the Patriots. But you know, Gronk is such a character, whether he's on the Monday night screen or whether he's on the silver screen, that man will draw an audience anywhere that he goes.
Exactly, no, he will.
Yeah, maybe he'll pull a Jason Witten and come back after a year.
Bold prediction, maybe. We'll see. They seem to all miss it after a few years and tend to come back. So we'll see. We'll see.
Thank you.
And today is International Waffle Day. And after the break, we'll be telling you more about that. Plus, Taylor will join us for another look at the 5-day forecast.
I'm Taylor Wynn at the OU Nightly Update Desk. The Oklahoma Supreme Court denied a request today to postpone the trial in the state's lawsuit against opioid drug makers. Oklahoma Attorney General Mike Hunter sued 13 opioid manufacturers in 2017. The suit alleges they engaged in marketing campaigns that led to thousands of overdose addictions and deaths. Oklahoma is one of several states who have filed lawsuits against opioid manufacturers, but is expected to be the first to go to trial. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Taylor. And as we said earlier, today is International Waffle Day. Whether you had one for breakfast or want one for dinner, celebrate the day with a waffle.
On average, Waffle House sells over 145 waffles a minute. And did you know Thomas Jefferson brought the first waffle iron to America? Obviously, the waffle has quite a history.
And joining us now, Taylor Cox has a weather fact for us. Taylor, what is it today?
Yeah, we have a look at the March temperatures. We're coming up to a close on March. So here's a look at the temperatures. We started out very cold and then we spiked up very warm. We're about like oscillating between normal now. So we are about in the spring temperatures now, but take a look at that warm jump, very cold. And here's a look at your 7-day again. We have warmer temperatures coming up. Clouds returning on Wednesday, and then those cooler temperatures come after the severe weather on Friday. So definitely some warmer temperatures to come, and then we drop back down into that spring weather.
Wow, so you can go out, you can play some games outside, but then clouds come in, and then after that, things kind of get nicer after it.
Yes, absolutely. It will be warm. We will be feeling that warm weather, and then we will be dropping back down once that cold front comes in.
All right, thank you, Taylor. And thanks for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by the Gaylord College of Journalism and Mass Communication on the campus of the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night, live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.